Good morning, good morning, good morning. Some people coming around the corner here. Happy birthday to you, even if it's not your real birthday today. Yes, because today is the first day of the rest of your life. So why not celebrate life as if it's your birthday? We're going to talk today about using negative thoughts to kickstart your positive thoughts loop. But we are starting off today. I've been going around in circles over whether I should do this or not, but actually because I'm celebrating you, the viewer, and your birthday today, I should probably celebrate all the people whose real birthdays it is today and yesterday, as it happens today as well. So happy birthday today to Jen Hines, Eve Lily Cousins. Hello Eve, hope you're well. Kat, John, who I think appears twice on here, Mark Stoll, Gary Holmes, Steph Taylor and John Parry. I think it's the same guy, right? Jenny Stewart. So happy birthday to you guys for today, and of course you, the viewer, because it's your birthday today as well, the first day of the rest of your life. And then from yesterday, because I missed these on Saturday and I should have done this, and particularly missed Vicki, terrible. Vicki's been my coach for the last year or so, and been really super helpful in getting me through a whole bunch of mental blocks and stuff. So ostensibly a money coach. She's just restructuring the way she does things at the moment, so go check her out. So it'll be fantastic if you give her some support. Hanan, Melissa, Brett, Gina, Nicki, Mark Tomlinson. Didn't know, I think you guys know each other. Didn't know they have the same birthday. Jermaine Harris, Escaping the Rat Race book. So a long time since I've seen you, Jermaine. I hope you're well. I don't think we've actually met in person, have we? I'm not sure. Kylie Brooks, and Jamie Reeves, who is a singer and does like wedding songs and stuff. I had my aunt's wedding on Saturday. Jamie could have done a little piece at my aunt's wedding, but a bit of a long way, bit of a long trek from up north where you live, Jamie. Cool. So anyway, happy birthday to all those people for yesterday. I hope you had a lovely weekend, and happy birthday to you, the individual watching this. Yeah, because it's the first day of the rest of your life. Right, we do a little breathing exercise, and then we'll crack on with the topic of the day. So breathe out one candle, as if it's a candle. Breathe in 5 through your nose. Put this hand on your heart. Hold your breath while you light the candles on your left hand. And then blow out the candles on your left hand. Feel that breath on the end of your fingers, as if they're all candles, when you're breathing them out. Do that 5 times. It's part of my breathing exercise, part of my create happy process. If you want to interest in learning what the other 5 things are, let me know, and I will give you a link so you can download that, and the videos I recorded last week to explain how it all works. Cool. So, and actually part of that is using these negative thoughts to kickstart your positive thought loops, because it's all part of neuroscience, which I study a lot of. And I had a very interesting chat with a psychology student on Saturday at my aunt's wedding. Quinn, hello if you happen to be watching this, Quinn. It was a lovely chat. I hope you're well. I hope you had a lovely evening in the end. Yeah, and we were talking about basically psychology and how it all works, and how we get depressed, and how we struggle with anxiety and stuff, and how social media these days can send us on that negative spiral link of comparisons to other people. We talked about how you see other people, but all you ever see is their highlights. You're only seeing their highlights reel, so they're only putting up what they think is the best parts of them, and then we can get really jealous and go, oh, look at their life, it's amazing, it's fantastic, and then we put up our best bits of our lives because we don't want to look terrible, so we put the best bits of our life up, and then this other person over here looks at us and looks at our highlights reel and goes, oh, look at their life, isn't it amazing, look at John's life, oh, down by the sea, isn't it amazing? But you're missing out on all the stuff that didn't go quite so well in my life yesterday or the day before, I don't know. Don't have a lot of the negatives anymore, because of course I've taken control of my negative thoughts, which is the whole point of what I teach people, which is why I teach what I teach. Hello viewer, by the way, I can't see the picture. Can't see who that is anyway. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Okay, so yes, so we were talking about how all that stuff worked, and we talked about CBT being the sort of the recognized version of what I do in psychology circles, as opposed to things like NLP and EFT and RFT and all those other sort of things that people use, which basically all help to rewire our brains and the neurons, which we've talked about in the last couple of days. So that we have more positive thoughts rather than negative thoughts, because our brain is designed evolutionary wise to look for negativity, to keep us safe, to keep us secure, keep us comfortable, and of course life isn't always that way. It doesn't always want to be that way. You want to push yourself a little bit, you want to get outside your comfort zone a little bit to move your life forward. Hello Diane Lomas. Hello Diane, I haven't seen you for ages. So this morning I heard Tom Bilyeu. I love Tom. He's fantastic. Listening to him, and he was talking this morning about CBT and how more people should understand CBT and how useful it is to get that negative thought that pops into your brain. So when they teach you CBT, if you ever struggle with depression or anxiety and they've sent you on a CBT course, for example, CBT, by the way, is cognitive behavioural therapy. And basically what it is it helps you to recognise the thoughts that are inside your head. By the way, if you comment below if you have thoughts inside your head, or you think you have a voice inside your head, or you think you have neither. That would be really useful to know. Cognitive behavioural therapy, it helps you to recognise when you've had a thought, whether it's a positive or a negative thought, and then recognise whether it's a useful thought or a not useful thought, and then what to do about it. How you can adjust it to recognise what the reality of the world you're around you. So, for example, I'm standing here right now. Somebody could have come past and I could have said morning, and they didn't say anything back to me. They could have thought, who's that idiot filming on the thing that I don't want to talk to him. So I could see that as negative. They didn't like me. They didn't like the look of me. They didn't like the look of my hair. Morning. See, she said morning. Sorry. Even though she was huffing and puffing and running along, she might still have been thinking, what an idiot, saying good morning to me. I don't know. I don't care. Not my problem. But if somebody's coming past and they're negative and miserable as they come past and they don't want to talk to you, maybe they didn't see me, maybe they didn't hear me, maybe they got their headphones in and they were just listening to their own thing. They're in their own little world. Nothing to do with me. Maybe they've had a really, really bad day and they just don't want to talk to anybody, don't want to engage. They thought, please don't talk to me. I'm not feeling in the mood for that. That kind of stuff. And that's what CBT does, is it allows you to start to think about other reasons why people might say or act in a different way towards you. However, you can extend that a little bit further as well and then say, well, I've had a negative thought about myself or about my life and about what I'm doing in my own life. Is that positive? Is that helpful? Could I think better thoughts? Could I think more positive thoughts about my life? And then what Tom was talking about is, if I have a negative thought in my head saying, I'm not worthy, that's an opportunity for you to go, well, how could I become worthy? Ask yourself a better question, saying, if I'm not earning enough money, I wish I should be earning some more money. So how could I earn more money? Let's switch that round and use it as a learning experience to kickstart some positive thought loops that's going to spiral you up, instead of sinking you down like depression and anxiety does, like I've suffered in myself in the past. I've struggled with depression and anxiety in the past, and it's dragged me down. And Tom had this really cool thing. He said, he's heard people talking about it's like looking into an abyss. And he said, but I've been close enough to know that it's not really like looking into an abyss. It's more like you're in the abyss and everything's collapsing around on top of you. And I thought that's a much better way of looking at it. I always talk about how it's like you're skiing. Or snowboarding or something like that. You're sledging, actually, is what I usually use. You've just gone out for play. You're a child, and you're sledging up and down the slope. So you've got a sledge, and you slid down. You've been up and down the slopes loads and loads of times, and then your friends have maybe moved on somewhere else, but you're still enjoying this slide. But eventually, it gets too slippery, and you slid down the slope, and then you're trying to climb back up, carrying your sledge, but you can't get up because it's become too slippery. So you keep climbing up and you keep sliding down, sliding down, and eventually you get stuck at the bottom. You go, I'm just too tired. I can't be bothered. I'm miserable. That's all the whole negative depression thing going on here. And then you sit down, and that's the dangerous there. That's danger. You're sitting down there, and if you can imagine, the sort of snow starts to fall and cover you up, and so you're getting colder and colder, and it's harder and harder for you to climb out of that slope. And often what I talk about is that's when the antidepressants can come useful. That's when the therapy can come in useful. Antidepressants, I usually say about, it's like doctor throwing a rope down and pulling you up to the top. But then you think to yourself, you get to the top of the slope and you think, I don't really want to let go of this rope. But then you can't enjoy life. You can't start sliding again. You can't go and join your friends down the other slopes of the other side. So you kind of have to learn how to ski and how to climb up, use ice picks and snowshoes and stuff, so you can actually climb up these slippery slopes. And those are the tools and techniques that I teach in my programs. 2 90-day sprints is what I'm talking about at the moment. So it's a 90 days worth of training and support and programs, and then another 90 days of support to embed all those new habits and skills and techniques that you've learned during the first 90 days to mentally create yourself a strong way forward. Which is all part of this negative thoughts, kickstart a positive thought loop, and reinforce it over time. I've talked before loads of times on here about self-confidence comes from asking yourself to do a small, tiny little thing and then celebrating the win after you've done it. So you say you're going to do something, then you do it, and you prove to yourself that you can do things when you say you're going to do things. Just a tiny thing. Drink a glass of water, go out for a walk, make your bed, little tiny things, just to prove to yourself you can. Then get yourself started, and then you can move on to bigger and bigger things as you move forward. But that's this negative thing. I can't get out of bed. Oh, I can't bother to get out of bed. Oh, there's a negative thought. Actually, I probably could get out of bed if I wanted to. I can't be bothered to make my bed. It's just too much like hard work. Oh, it's a negative thought. Turn that into a positive thought. If I make my bed, I'm going to feel good about it. Okay, so I'm going to make my bed and I'm going to feel good about it. I'm going to celebrate it and then go, yay. Then I'm going to have a nice, I don't know, cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever you want, croissant, for celebrating having made my bed and done that one thing and moved myself forward. So what we're really doing here is taking control of our automatic nervous system, so autonomic nervous system, I should say, which is basically our whole body is designed to sort of conserve energy, save time, make things easier for ourselves, so it gets used to patterns and certain ways of doing things. We need to take control of that so that it's not just automatically doing things that we don't want it to do, and that we control it so that we can then start to make it do automatically things that we do want it to do, instead of the things that we the negative things we want to do. So because that automatic nervous system is basically our automated thinking and our responses. So like, for example, if somebody throws a ball at you and you just automatically catch it. That's an automated system. You don't really think about that at all. When you're driving the car and you drive, you're changing gears and you're putting your foot down, obviously, whatever, changing lanes, looking in the mirror and stuff, and you start doing that automatically after you've done it a few thousand times. Tying your shoelaces, crossing your arms, which hand goes on top? Is it your left hand or is it your right hand? It's an automated system. You don't really think about it. Somebody says cross your arms, you just cross your arms, and you think, oh, my left hand is on top. How can I cross my arms with my right hand on top? Oh, that's really awkward. That's really difficult to do. It's because you've got an automated system. Now you've got to really think about it. It takes a little bit of effort to do that. And that over time, it takes time. You'll notice how easy it was for me to do the opposite way around. By the way, if you ever asked to do that, the trick is to put the hand on top first and then cross your arms the other way around. If you want to do it the other way around, you put that hand on top and then cross your arms. That's the trick. Again, somebody teaches you a trick and then you can do it every time without any trouble at all. It becomes very easy then, because the trick, you've learned the trick, the technique for it. And that's what we can do. That's what we do in the 90-day program, 2 lots of 90-day programs, to embed those actually that's what we do in the second, to be fair, that's what we do in the second 90-day sprint. The first 90-day sprint is learning all the techniques and tricks and skills and putting them into action and testing them out and trying to fit them into our daily routine, making sure that they fit into our lives really easily. And then the second day, 90 days, is then making sure that they stick and that they stay and that they embed into our daily lives so that they become part of our autonomic nervous system. Automated system. That's what it is, basically. Right, I'm going to wrap up now by saying this is kind of another cool thing that Tom talked about, which is that I think people like Navy SEALs and the SAS use all these techniques themselves, breath work, meditation and stuff, to get control of their minds so that in a combat situation they don't have to think. They can just automatically work, the guns and the formations that they move and stuff. They don't have to think about, what do I do next, where do I go, what am I supposed to do. It's automated in their systems. It's just built into their DNA, as it were. That's a bad expression, but I think you understand the concept behind it, at least anyway. They take control of that, so they're also then disconnected from the negativity that they're seeing around them and the jobs that they have to do. They have to just switch off from the job they have to do to be able to achieve what they need to achieve. And that made me think about, in the UK, at least on Channel 4, Celebrity SAS started last night, Series 3 I think it is, and it's fascinating watching these celebrities do their thing and go through the process, and you'll see them break down and you'll see the SAS people go through this whole, breaking down your brain and then rebuilding you, trying to break it up, and they'll talk about it during the program as well. They talk about how you have to break somebody's preconceived notions about themselves down to be able to then build them back up again, so that you can kind of get a clean slate. If I had my Rubik's Cube here, it'd be like wiping the Rubik's Cube and so it's all messed up, and then you've got to tidy it all up and everything. There's nothing wrong with it. There's a perfect Rubik's Cube in there. You just need to know how to manipulate it so it's in the right order, and then you can start making nice, clean, funky patterns with it. For example, if you've ever seen somebody, you get a Rubik's Cube and you can make a nice sort of pretty pattern on the Rubik's Cube, but you have to solve it first before you can make the pretty patterns, and it's the same concept, they're really there. And that then made me think about how Lauren Steadman was on the last series of Celebrity SAS, and she's a Paralympian, so she's lost her arm from, I think it's about here on her forearm on her right hand. She was also on Strictly Come Dancing a couple of years ago. And it was fascinating because I was thinking to myself, how is she going to do some of the exercise they do on Celebrity SAS with just one arm, where she hasn't got a right hand? And it was brilliant because she was doing this thing where she had to go across a zip wire with just one hand, and then she had to pull herself up with one arm, and it's just absolutely fascinating. She was a fascinating thing to behold, watching Lauren do all this stuff. And then, of course, you then find out that she's a Paralympian. Of course, I started following her on Strictly initially because, unless people don't know, I am a ballroom dancer myself. And then I followed her through Celebrity SAS and on Instagram and so forth. And now, of course, just a couple of days ago on Sunday, she won gold at the Paralympic Triathlon in Tokyo. And that was fantastic to see. So I've watched her do all the training and all the stuff, all the work that she's put in between. And, of course, doing Celebrity SAS as well, up to actually getting the gold. So I've actually been able to see all that stuff happen and all the effort that she's putting in to be able to get that gold in Tokyo. And it's been a fascinating journey. So well done, Lauren, is all I can say. Right, that's me wrapped up for today. You can use all these techniques for yourself, and if you want to learn how to do them, I've got a 6-month program, 2 90-day sprints, 90 days worth of training and support and learning all the skills and techniques and training, and then 90 days worth of embedding and making sure and supporting you to make sure that you get them stuck so that they become part of your everyday maneuvers. So, and if you know anybody who's struggling with depression or anxiety or any other kind of mental struggles, send them my way. We can help them. And if you want a copy of my Create Happy process, let me know about that, and I shall send that over to you as well. So I'm going to send you all the love now. Have a lovely day, and I will see you soon. Take care, guys. Bye for now.